You're in good soil with Kellen and Shay. Plant your seed, water your seed, and watch your seed grow.
Welcome back to the In Good Soil Podcast. I am Kellen Haynes, and this is my co-host,
Shay Fowler, the Green Goddess.
Right. So who we got here, Shay?
Well, you know, we always dragging some folks into this door, aren't we? We just picking them at this point. This is gonna be
right off the street. You look all right. Come here.
Let's have them. We have this great couple here sitting on our couch. We're going to talk about some love here. We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about where we're going, how it's doing, what's the key. But this couple that we have, please don't be shocked.
Right.
In any way.
It is 2026.
It is 2026. And if this ain't your cup of tea, you might want to find you a different cup of tea. But this is some great tea. You better come on in here and enjoy this conversation we're about to have. We have one of my besties on this couch. You may know him. His name is Vic Sorrell. And then we have Mr. Tall, gorgeous, hair flowing. He only needs one name. Kolrick. Yes, darling. Yes. The boys know that is him.
What is my name? I love it.
Welcome, fellas.
Welcome and welcome back.
Yes.
Vic is the only one we've had twice.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
So nice you guys.
Yeah.
Season 1, y'all
Season
season
2. Yeah. Thank you.
I'll always talk. You know me.
Well, yeah.
Always.
Always. Thank y'all for joining us today on this special occasion of the month of love. And we're going to talk about love, relationship. How did it work? How's it working for you? We'll talk about some communication. And you can tell us about how. We'll start with this one. How did you guys meet? How did this happen? What made this happen? We don't have but like 40 minutes.
The short version. Oh, she said, babe.
Right.
We have 40 minutes.
We've known each other for a long time.
I feel like I saw it in the beginning. And I couldn't figure it out. I was like, what is this? He's cute. Okay. But what is he doing with this one? Let's figure this out. Okay. And then go.
Okay. Well, the very short story, since we're only here for 40 minutes, is a friend, a mutual friend. She was kind of on the lookout for me, for somebody. She met him and she thought, And so then she just made it so that we ended up at the same place at the same time.
Come to find out, we had been at the same place at the same time a few times. A few different times.
Unknowingly, that's so true.
Yeah.
And that's a really interesting little story, because one of the things that we realized after we had been dating for a while, we were talking about having been at the Pride Festival on the same day to see the same show.
Wow.
And I was like, really? And so I went back to the footage that I had shot on my phone of that show. He was in the footage.
6 feet in front of him.
Yeah.
Funny.
From the back, like you saw the hair, but it was obviously me.
Yeah.
Obviously.
In the VIP. Alone in the VIP.
I think it was one of those, we were going to meet. One way or the other, sooner or later.
It was destined, huh?
I mean, you can call it whatever word works for you. I think we were going to meet. We were going to meet. It was just, you know what I mean?
Our timelines were supposed to,
link.
They were supposed to link.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long has this been going on?
Well, it's funny because we had that moment, and then about 6 months after we crossed paths at that Pride event. Well, we didn't actually cross paths. You know what I mean? We were in the same space. We met at karaoke. That was where our friend introduced us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we were casual, as the kids say, for about
you heard it,
6 months. It's so funny how these things happen, because it's kind of complicated. I was in an alternative relationship that was it was flexible, it was open, you know. And so we were hanging out for about 6 months and then lost touch and then reconnected 9 months later.
Okay.
And it was just another one of those, it was like the timing just wasn't quite there, but clearly there was something in the connection for both of us.
Right.
And so then when we reconnected, it was like, all right, we're off and running. Like by, I don't know, a month into reconnecting, I was like, I'm good, by the way. Like whenever you make up your mind, it's fine, but like, I'm good. I'm set.
I'll wait for you. I'll be here.
I don't need to look anymore.
Right,
You
right.
know?
I love it.
We were at Oku. We were at the Japanese place.
Yeah.
I remember that day.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Y'all were eating and I didn't get it in.
Oh.
Well, it was a date, Shay.
There are other tables.
What do you mean?
There are other tables. We can date together.
Right?
I can ask my questions. I am your grace. I don't know why you forget.
Oh.
I think on this particular date, I had some questions I had to ask, if I remember correctly. Not really. Not really.
So, now that we know the story of how this begun, what is your way of communicating with each other? How do you communicate? How is that? Because I know you, Mr. Sorrell, in your communication. Yeah.
Lots of words.
Lots of words. An SAT word, you know, $1 word, a $5 word.
It'd be wording.
Guilty.
Yeah.
It does.
But I love it.
Okay. Oh, I love that you love it.
Gosh.
Are you the listener or are you the communicator?
Honestly, I think we both are the listener and the communicator.
Both.
And especially when it happens well, we both are, you know. But I think this relationship, more than any, I'll speak for myself, has given me the opportunity to really look at and refine what it means for conflict to happen well, safely, effectively, because I wasn't doing it so well before he came along and said, "Excuse me, could you shift a little bit your tone, you know," because I was raised, you know, when we did conflict when I was growing up, it was very direct, it was very matter of fact, and I wasn't aware.
Yeah.
You know?
So you had to take a step back.
I got
with
to
your approach.
I got to reconsider. But the beautiful thing is that it's been really good for me to see.
No, go ahead.
You know, just to see the difference and to experience how when it happens differently, and it happens more safely for both people, then it's that thing that they talk about. Repair can actually happen and trust can grow if conflict happens safely and well. And that's how, what I'm learning is how a partnership is truly strengthened is in the conflict happening well.
So let me ask a question. With learning how to communicate with your partner, does that help your outside relationship? How you communicate with them? Has it bettered it?
You mean outside of the relationship?
Yeah. Like friends or work.
What do you think about that?
Whatnot.
I'll definitely answer, but
the first thing that came to mind was that I think there's a fair amount that comes in the other direction.
Okay.
Particularly when, I mean, like when you're working with clients, for example. I mean, I don't know if we're getting into all that, but he'll gain insights from working with clients, or I'll gain insights because I'm a coach, Vic's a therapist, and so we kind of, you know, like are in similar spaces in that way. But then I'm also a bartender, so I'm like kind of a therapist all the time anyway, you know. And I think those interactions help inform our communication, but then also the things that we talk about find their way out and give us insight, you know, in helping clients or in other, I don't know if I notice it so much in personal interactions as much as I do in the more professional, but that is really interesting.
One thing I definitely notice in relationships and situations outside of the relationship is there's no need to be afraid. There's no need to be afraid of conflict when you have learned how to do it safely. I have been, you know, I'm a Libra mostly. Yes, too. So I've kind of been an avoider of conflict most of my life, right? Because conflict didn't always happen well when I was growing up. It didn't, you know, people get angry, people get hurt, people get, you know, shut down and distance happens. And, we see that all the time.
Yeah.
So I think this relationship and the practice that we've had, learning how to be better at having conflict, has made me less afraid of having conflict outside of the relationship in other situations, right? It's let me kind of lean in and, well, this has come up, but see, if we talk about it and we have a safe exchange about it, then we have an opportunity for that relationship to get stronger and safer. If we do it in a way where both sides are valued, and both people, are valued and heard. One of the most important things I've learned is it doesn't matter whether I agree with you or not. If I can have capacity for where you're coming from, if I can have space for what you're saying because I care about you, that can make all the difference in the world. Just choosing to value your position simply because it's yours.
Wow. I had a little thought over here, but I'm going to keep that to myself. You know who you are.
Uh-oh. Not the head turn and look at the camera.
Jade.
You know who you are. Because you hit some things. And, we've been around each other for umpteen years. Almost, what, many years?
It is almost 20 now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And to see the relationships you've been in and to see you in this one, it's very different. You are more open, more calmer when it comes to your communication style. I still love the fact that we can cut up and talk about any and everything, but you are just you're in ease of this in this relationship. And let me say thank you.
I mean, that feels lovely to hear.
I've seen you grow and be different, and communicate in this relationship a whole lot. And I love that you brought this woof of calmness to it. Even though I know it may not be easy in the relationship, but you could see how your friend has grown, if that makes sense. And so I just wanted to say thank you for that, Mr. Kolrick.
Thank you.
I love your name. We'll have to talk about this name for just a second.
Okay.
So where did this name Kolrick? Because when you kept saying Kolrick, and I was like,
what in the
so
world
he
is
got
that?
a black man? I need a black man Kolrick.
The number of times that I've gotten that, people see my name and they meet me and they're like, wait a second.
Your name is what?
Right. So my mom misread somebody's name. That's how this came about. So back in like I think it started maybe even as far back as like Woodstock, but people putting their names on the back of their belts. You remember seeing that around, like the leather work and flowers and all these ornate things. So she saw COLRICK on the back of somebody's belt. They were at a cattle auction. My family, they were farmers.
Okay.
And she saw that and in her mind just said Kolrick, but then she asked him what his name was. And he said it was Richard, but everyone calls me Ricky. And she said, well, why does your belt say Kolrick? He was apparently in the Army and his nickname was the Colonel. So his belt said Colonel Rick. COL period RICK.
So mom put it all together.
So she put it all together. Yep. C to a K, and here we go. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
She's too creative for her own good.
Yes.
That was a good one for sure. I agree.
So let me ask you this, because you are our alternative couple here, and that I love all the way. I love this. How is this easy? Is this hard, especially in this time, in this state of life, when it should be easy? Because we are in 2026, not 1966, but it is America.
Yeah.
So how is this relationship good, bad, ugly, indifferent for you all?
In comparison to
what it could have been.
Yeah. In comparison to what the world sees as normal relationships, man, woman.
Yeah.
Sure. The patriarchal definition of a relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, on the day-to-day, I don't really feel it. You know what I mean? Like we're in partnership and we love each other and we're like doing our lives, our independent lives and our together lives, at the same time all the time. Yeah. And that part's not any different. But I think similar to even for people of color, we're like aware, always in the background, that like we look different, we present different, we people react or respond differently. The energy changes when we enter spaces. But in Nashville, I mean, you know.
Yeah, it depends on where you go.
Yeah.
It really does. You know,
It's Nashville.
yeah, don't go to Franklin. But so
They have Pride. Franklin's got a
well,
Pride now,
that's
so
true.
it's like
go
how do you
go on Pride Day.
Okay.
So
one day a year we can parade around Franklin.
yeah, and I don't mean that. That's a joke. There's plenty of people in Franklin who are lovely, and but my perception is there are more people in Franklin who are conservative, and that may or may not be true. Having said that, something that I think is really important to consider is in relationships, romantic relationships, there's always masculine and feminine energy in both partners.
Absolutely.
And it depends on what's going on,
Absolutely.
what we're meeting, you know, how you work through things, or how, you know, when one is leading or the other is leading, you know, of course, sort of that dance they talk about in relationship. So really, when it comes down to it, the relationship part on a day-to-day basis has very little to do with the anatomy and everything to do with the energies of the people and the heart and the availability, receptivity, you know? So now, when you're talking about being a gay couple, do you feel in some environments or in some times maybe afraid or
Not accepted, maybe.
not accepted? Exactly. Sure. But, you know, I've been out for a long time now, you know, over 20 years.
So when it was not as open to the world, basically, yeah.
You do get used to moving about in the world and knowing you're not going to be for everybody. Not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's going to want to get it. Not everybody's going to want you to be together and be happy.
Right.
And what are you going to focus on? You're going to focus on them and
Yes,
that.
sir. What you want,
Yeah. Now, for me, there is a piece and an element of physical safety that comes into play sometimes. I find that I'm a little more aware of, and maybe, you know, I'm a smaller person. Don't be out here, you know, showing out, because you never know who's out there beside you and who might be crazy and who might have a gun and whatever. I'm mindful of that. I'm, you know, it's a shame, but I am. And so that's a little different.
Yeah.
That's a little different. I can honestly say that, you know, we probably wouldn't hold hands or be affectionate everywhere.
Right.
But there's some places we probably would be. You know?
So as y'all create like maybe a night out, do y'all really take in consideration, okay, do we really want to go here, or do we just want to have a good time without having to worry? Do y'all take that in consideration when you're planning your planning trips or planning events, whatever you're doing outside of home? Do you take that in consideration?
I think subconsciously you do. You know, you don't necessarily think about it consciously. We don't talk about it. But at the same time, you know, neither one of us are planning to go to Mar-a-Lago anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't a destination of interest.
The light came on. The light. I mean, you see the light come on.
It's just kind of like you just know, right? Some places there's just no need to go. Why would you want to go?
I kind of because as you mentioned, of people of color, which I'm a person who dealt with people of color, especially in this climate today, I can understand that. That's why I'm asking, because even in my case, sometimes it's like, do I really want to go face this today? I can handle myself pretty well, I believe. Well, why go through all of that? So sometimes it is a thought in the back of my mind. Well, let me just have a good time. Right? Let me go where I don't feel like that I'm gonna have. But in today's world, the truth is, can you go anywhere without even having that thought? It don't matter what color, what your preference is. It doesn't matter. Man, woman, it doesn't matter. Stuff can happen in places unimaginable that we wouldn't even think.
Right. You know, I think like when we're planning things, like thinking about a night out somewhere, I feel like we tend to plan to go toward places, like if we're choosing a restaurant or a bar or whatever, we're thinking about like the kind of experience we want to have,
Right.
the vibe we want to have.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to lean toward places, for example, like being in the service industry. I want to go to places that care and put love into the experience that they're making, and they care about their staff. And so I think when we plan that way, we end up in loving spaces and in spaces that are accepting, where we're going to have a good time.
That's a good point.
You know, I don't necessarily think about like, oh, let's avoid this and let's not go there because that might not. It's more about like, what do I want to go toward? What kind of experience do I want to have?
Come on.
Okay, coach.
Go toward. So I'm gonna go back because you said something about when you've been out 20 plus years. Speaking of love, family, friends, the people that were around you before you actually came out. How was that experience coming out? On both sides, I want both of y'all to answer this.
Well, I'll say first of all, we came out in different decades.
Okay.
So the world was different when I came out.
Okay.
I think. What year did you come out?
Well, I was going to say maybe not so far apart when I think about it.
Late.
I came out like first year of college, like 2006, 2007. I don't really think about my coming out until I told mom. Like my friends knew and I was doing what I wanted to do, but like once I actually had the conversation with my mother, then it was like, all right.
Most people is like mom, father. Those are the people like
the really significant, relationships that you have. So I came out to my mom summer of 2007.
Okay.
Well, then this is really interesting because I came out in summer of 2004, I think.
Okay.
To the best of my memory. So really, we were much closer than I thought.
Oh, okay.
Even though we're 10 years apart in age.
I'm going to.
But you would never guess. I mean, look at us.
Right. You would never guess he's older than me, would you?
I mean,
I was just about to make that joke.
People never believe it. But
right. That I'm old.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
Anywho, moving forward.
Yeah. What was your coming out like? Because I think because we are of different generations, it probably was a little different for both of us, even though it was in the same time. But
yeah, I mean, for me it was like end of freshman year of college, and I was like sort of kind of moving into what I thought might be a relationship. It was not, but it was like, okay, this might be important. Let me share this, with the people who are important to me, and my mom's initial reaction was, oh my God, I thought you were going to tell me you got somebody pregnant. Which is interesting.
Hilarious.
Because I think she almost would have preferred that scenario, like a surprise grandkid over you may not have grandkids at all. You know what I mean? But in the moment, that was her response. And then it was like, and we're not going to tell your dad yet. Right? It was like this whole thing.
Oh, wow.
But as far as friends go, it was fine. It was totally fine, and my brothers were like, okay, cool. I mean, I was the oldest. So what are they going to do? The youngest one is 8 years younger than me. So he's looking at me like, oh, what are you doing in life? What are you,
Right.
Yeah. And so, with family, it was actually totally fine. I think living up or moving through, family expectations of me later, I think, was trickier because the reality of I'm not going to have the kind of relationship you thought I was going to have. I'm not going to have the kind of wedding day you thought I was going to have. I'm not going to be able to bring you grandkids in the traditional way. Like all of those things started to come out later, and I could feel the tension of like, oh, this is not the life we had planned for you. It did, but it doesn't anymore because I see my family different now, you know what I mean? But it's a more spiritual perspective, I guess. Like my family was the instrument of my existence. They are how I came to be in this 3D realm, but we all have connection to something that's like way bigger than that.
Well, I mean, as far as I went,
that's okay.
Questions running. So, because we're talking about like bringing kids in the world. How do y'all feel about that? Or however, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you feel about not actually going through that process.
Well, I mean, if we can do that before he gets too old, then we're definitely
Security. He's in here.
Son Curry.
Come through.
we definitely talk about it all the time. We may have a name picked out.
Okay.
How this person,
First and middle name.
right? How this baby is going to come to us, we're not really sure.
We're not sure.
But we definitely talk about it. We definitely, I think, both enjoy the idea of being a parent and being parents together.
Mm.
It scares the bejesus out of me a little bit too.
It
Yeah.
Well,
It
because
does.
it's important, right? And it's tender. That doesn't mean it should be
And I need
avoided.
my rest. So that's the thing.
Right.
I-
Well, you can get your rest because I will have the nighttime,
Oh, look at there.
the diapers in the bottles,
I mean,
and
that
then
could really work.
he'll be
honestly,
ready
'cause
6
we could kinda
a.m.
have
Yes, he will.
and I'm asleep, and
Yeah.
he's got the baby in the morning, and then we just.
I like this.
It really,
Yeah.
it could work. It could work.
But yeah, I mean, to your question, it may not necessarily be traditional, but does it really matter? Because like straight couples get in vitro or adopt all the
Right.
time,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And like queer couples have friends that are like, sure, I'll help you make a baby, and they
Right,
just,
right.
do it in the whatever,
Right.
like however you need to get it done.
Turkey
Turkey
baskets or not.
It could be right out of my mouth.
So in that way, like, yes, there is enough love and growth that happens between the two of us that like, there's no doubt in my mind that there are children,
Oh, he said
for
children.
us. Our kid, I mean,
Oh,
I don't know. We're gonna have 2 at least.
I'm tired already for y'all.
Maybe.
Like one of our own with a surrogate and one adopted. That's what sort of falls in for me.
Okay.
I mean, that sounds good to me. The other thing too that I want about 6 or 8 dogs, and that's
So how
it's
do you-
trying to really decide which is
yeah.
more important.
How do you think Miles and Bella and Archie would feel about these little 2-feeders?
I hear
You know,
you. I hear you.
I think Bella will have a cow.
I mean, she's been around kids. They've all been around
They all
kids.
have.
Yeah, because I've got nibblings. There's little ones in our
But
lives.
they're attention seekers
Sure.
on 4 legs.
Yeah.
They need a lot of attention.
that's a really good observation.
Yeah.
Because Miles don't play when it comes to his attention, but his folks be like, "Girl, you need to move out the way because I'm getting ready."
It's time, right? It's
Yeah.
my time.
Yeah. Ooh, I would love to see how that works.
I think it just requires intentionality on our part. We just the way we do now. We have to give this one love and give this one love and give this one love, and being in relationship and taking care of the dogs together has really like opened my eyes to a lot of things, and I've softened where the dogs are concerned. Like
Okay.
I see how they need to be loved differently, and being able to adapt to that
they
is
do.
really interesting.
So, as it relates to children, and you're thinking about it, do you even worry or not? I don't like worry. I do not like worry. Do you
Think about
or strongly think about raising a child in this world
Mhm.
today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
And what that's the same thing as we're talking about going outside the house to hang out and plan events. I believe the same type of thought process goes into bringing a child or raising a child in this
In the
world.
same sex relationship. I think that is so stupid that we have to ask these questions and talk about this in this time and day
Yeah.
and age. But it's so true that we do have to
Well,
talk.
we got to.
We got to.
And we get to, because this is just the time that it is. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Yeah.
so if it helps somebody else
It
reframe
does.
their experience, then
It does.
yeah.
And I appreciate the question. I wasn't
Well,
asking the question.
Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. For me, this is new for me.
Yeah.
Being able to ask questions. But I believe the questions need to be asked.
They do.
We have an
Oh, yeah.
audience.
and please, we're seasoned, so ask anything you want because
I can tell.
Yeah.
You're not going to offend me.
No,
Yeah.
no. We've done this long enough that we're comfortable with who we are, and
Right.
I love
I respect and appreciate the fact that people have curiosity and people
Yeah.
want to understand something that they may not have an opportunity to
Right.
understand. I've been on that side of the equation before in a
Yeah.
lot of scenarios, so I absolutely welcome that and appreciate that
Yeah.
you would even want to know.
Yeah.
That's my co-host. That's what he does.
But the thing for me about bringing kids in the world is, I think there's going to have to be a different kind of intentionality in order to protect this child, in order to keep this child safe. And if we're going to save this world, if we're going to save the species, then somebody's got to be bringing in kids and teaching them how to love.
That's literally what I was about to say. I mean, yes.
Oh, great mind.
So, I mean, that's the thing that I see is people do say a lot of times, I wouldn't want to bring a child in the world this time. I get that. And the children are the way that we can teach the love that is what we need.
Yeah.
So,
So true.
that would be another reason why I would be inclined to want to have kids, and I would teach them, you know, love and acceptance and appreciation and respect and reverence for the fact that we're all human and we all have challenges. We all, you know, we're all worth love, no matter what we look like, what we're dealing with, how we may behave at times.
Yeah.
You know, to try to just bring a little more benevolence into the world.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I have a hard time believing, you know, we might raise some very eccentric children, but I would be very surprised if they were not loving, lovely, heart-centric children.
Just don't let them have OCD, Lord. Just
Well,
don't let them have OCD.
Well, you know, it's interesting that you bring that up because I think that's a part of it. No.
Right.
That's a whole other thing.
Right.
It's one of those funny moments in our relationship.
Yes, it is. I was too.
What I was going to say was like OCD is one example of, you know, like a challenge or a concern or whatever you want to call it around mental health and around trauma. And what I was thinking about earlier is just like being in a relationship, sort of an important piece of it for us is being aware of how our past is showing up in our present, because we more often than not remind each other. And this happens in any relationship. We remind each other of things that have happened in the past. So that doesn't necessarily mean that's what's actually happening now.
Right.
My body remembers that this thing is happening that's really painful and difficult, going back to what you were talking about with conflict. And so I think having grace for each other's experience around mental health and wellness and, you know, spiritual wellness is a huge part of it. And I lost my train of thought. But
well, you know, I'm glad that you brought it back around to the conflict thing, because there was one other piece of that I think is really important that I've learned in this relationship that has really changed my whole life. And that is this. When someone brings you a concern, maybe it's a grievance, maybe it's this isn't working for me in this relationship, maybe it's, you know, something like that. When your partner has the courage to come to you and bring you something, what we see more often than not is that issue has the tendency to ignite the unresolved shame in the other person. Now, when the unresolved shame gets ignited, it's really tough to hold the capacity to say, I hear you, tell me more. I care about you, I love you, I hear what you're saying, tell me more. Most of the time, self-included, somebody brings you something, it stimulates something that you feel guilty about, feel ashamed of, feel afraid of. And the knee-jerk reaction is to deflect, to change the subject somehow, to put it back on them, to, yeah, but you did this. So one of the things I've learned is if we can be aware of the shame that we're carrying and be aware of how it shows up, when someone brings us a concern in the relationship, remember that initial is probably yours to manage and regulate, so that then you can come back with, I have capacity for this concern. That will really make the difference in whether we can then work through it safely so that we can make repair and trust can be built. What I've seen all my life in myself and in people close to me and around me is conflict gets bad typically as soon as one person has the courage to tell the truth. And that is so unfortunate.
Truth hurts.
Well, sometimes. And if we can't get to the truth, how are we ever going to
Growth.
address something for the truth that it is.
Yeah.
We dance around issues in relationships all the time. We're not getting to it, right?
Right.
We're
Yeah.
fighting about who didn't fold the laundry and who, you
Ooh.
know what I'm saying? But what's really
What's
under
the root?
this,
What's the root?
right, is that there's a pattern going on in this relationship that I'm afraid to name. And it's hurting me and it's scaring me and it's causing me pain. And if I'm afraid to name it because I can't trust that you will respond to me with capacity and concern,
Mhm.
then those things go unnamed and they
They
go
do.
unaddressed. And then that's how, you know, a cancer starts to form in the relationship
Yeah.
that over time can unfortunately kill an otherwise really wonderful relationship that had
That's
all the
so true.
potential in the world.
That's so true.
It's something that's kind of hard to explain and but so important. And you know,
I think we the only reason that we're even able to speak about this dynamic is because we have struggled with navigating it.
100%.
I feel like not enough people, like when you look at your teachers or you watch content from your gurus and those people that really inspire you, I think we forget that they only came to that knowledge because they suffered through not having it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like I want to be real that like we've had to work through those dynamics. You know, like I'm replaying situations and conversations that we've had as he's describing this idea that I'm like, yep, I remember that one. Oh, yep, and we did that one, and I didn't respond well to that, and I thought it was this, and it was this other thing, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that eye-opening when you realize, oh, I didn't hear that right, or it didn't play right, and I didn't respond to it.
Oh yeah.
And then when the light comes on, you can say, you know what? My bad. I showed out.
You have two options, right? Give
Yeah.
yourself grace in that moment and own it and name it for what it was, or respond to the shame of, oh, I fucked it up, and now I'm gonna backpedal and be even more.
Yeah. To the situation of
Double
even
down.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that. So next question right here.
One more thing.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
That is
I
why
forgot.
we say, if you want to have a healthy relationship, the most important thing you can do first is heal your own shame, your own fear, your own pain. Because if you choose not to do that, Vic, I'm looking in the mirror. If you choose not to do that, then what you will do is that will show up in the relationship as a lack of capacity. Where you are not healed will show up as a lack of capacity for your partner's experience. And when you don't have capacity for your partner's experience, it's pretty impossible to create and maintain trust and safety in the relationship.
That needs to be on a t-shirt.
Okay. And it's going to be an extra large because that's a lot of words.
You know, I'm the girl that wears the green because it is mental and you need to heal.
Yeah.
Like healing is the best thing that you could ever bring into a relationship. Yeah. Healing is the key to a healthy relationship. And knowing that, oh, I'm a mess here, but I need to work on this. I need to heal from this and sitting with you two now to see this, like there's a lot of healing that's gone on.
Ooh, you are not lying.
And that speaks to the reality that you can't go heal, but you can go heal by yourself.
Right.
But you're not healing the wounds that are activated in your relationship.
Absolutely.
The only way that you're going to heal those wounds is in the relationship and respond to it in the best way you can and work together. Yeah.
It's such a great point. It's a very fine line. Am I being mistreated or am I being activated? It's a very fine line and a very, very important distinction to make in a relationship. Because if your partner loves you, but things that they're doing or saying are activating you, that's your invitation to heal.
Yeah.
They're not mistreating you
in any
just
way.
because you're activated and
it's just something you got to go deal with and work through and get better at.
And I think we get that wrong a lot of times.
So that you can maybe respond different. Yeah. It's crazy. Me and my daughter were just talking about this in the car before we got here about, I told her and her siblings or whoever, they need to go get counseling. And I was proud of her when she said, I need to go first.
Let it begin with me.
I need to go first for me before I go with them. Yeah.
Wow.
So that I know how to respond. Well, receive and respond. So
That's good.
yeah.
Because not
Yeah.
a lot of young people think about that.
No, they don't.
Oh, look
They
at
don't.
Dad doing a good job.
Try. I try because I mean, growing up, we didn't talk
We didn't-
about
no.
all of that.
Mm.
It's just
Neither
it
did we.
was what it was. We're just coming to a place where my generation and older are talking about counseling, healing, therapy,
Yeah.
all of this stuff. It's like it's new.
It is.
I've had to go through a lot of. I'm still going through some
Right.
of it more on my own now, but I'm more self-aware than a lot of people. So I sit and work through some stuff on my own.
Right.
But I have had counseling
Right.
to get to a point of where okay, I know what I'm looking at. I know how to get to where I need to get. But I also have a wife that now I can communicate with her
Yeah.
in a way that we can communicate together and understand each other
Yep.
better.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we have such an opportunity in this generation to clarify some things. We've heard for decades, what's the most important thing in a relationship? Communication.
Mhm.
Okay, how?
Right.
What kind of communication?
Right.
Communication. That's what they left out.
Yeah.
Right. Because you can communicate by looking and talking, but is it effective?
And
Yeah.
what makes it effective?
Right.
Right.
Because you can communicate all day about the towel on the floor or the dog in the yard, right? We're talking, we're communicating. What's wrong? Well, you're not talking about what's really going on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and in a way that's safe.
Right.
See?
Right.
So that's the thing, is being clear about another thing. If you want to be in a relationship and you want to have a healthy relationship, your primary priority is to heal yourself.
Mhm.
How? What does that mean? What are we talking about
Yeah.
when we say heal? Well, we mean address the places in you where your capacity is limited, your
Yeah.
emotional capacity. Because, we all go through wounding. We all
Right.
go through
Yeah.
stuff that confuses us about ourselves,
Mhm.
and it limits our capacity.
Yes. it
So
is.
that's what we're talking about. We're talking about addressing those things so that when you're in that relationship, you show up with more capacity
Yeah.
for your partner, for the relationship, for yourself,
Mhm.
so that then you can communicate well,
Right.
right? It requires capacity.
It does.
So I think we've got all this opportunity to really, really get clearer
Yeah.
about what we're really saying. And it's one of my passions.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
This conversation has been amazing and great, and I thank you both for being here and showing up for us.
Thank
We-
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, anytime, every time. It's been an eye-opening conversation, and I'm going to say this to you out there. Those of you that think that same-sex relationship is just completely wrong and disrespectful. Love is love, no matter who you are with, no what color, size, shape it is. It is love. And yes, it is in the Bible, but that's the Old Testament. Go to your New Testament, because Jesus came in and swiped all of that away for us. Yeah, you can read it. It's in black and white. It's a little red in there too. But know that love, he came in for love. Doesn't matter who you love. No sin is bigger than the other sin. So just because you say, oh, they're having same sex, doesn't matter. You're having fornication. You sleeping with everybody else. You is a hoe out here. I'm just saying. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Yes, you stole that bubble gum out the store. That's still a sin. I'm just saying. You took the Tootsie Rolls. You stole a whole loaf of bread. It is a sin. A sin is a sin. Ain't no sin bigger than the other sin. So love somebody instead of out here sinning. How about that? Try that one for a change. Just saying.
And I'm gonna say, let me be the first to say, conversations like this for me, I already said it was new, but it is challenging because I'm not. It's not my world. I'm not used to it.
Right.
That's right.
I even came in. I'm like, I don't even know where to go. Good thing is all of the interviews that we've been doing, or the podcast we've been doing, I just been feeding off the conversation.
Yeah.
Even when we had our feeding, because it's a conversation.
It is a conversation.
And it's like, all right, Kellen, just ask what you want to ask.
Yeah.
Sometimes I worry about stepping on toes, or maybe, but I'm glad that y'all were receptive and responsive. Y'all responded well. I think I hope I did too. I hope I did.
I felt very comfortable.
But here's the thing: even if you hadn't,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just as important.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, how are you supposed to know?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to know? You just said
Mhm.
it's not your world.
Yeah.
But the fact that you care and that you're willing to put yourself in an uncomfortable position and ask questions,
Yeah.
to me, is everything.
Yeah.
And you know, I can feel that if you did step on my toe, you didn't mean to.
Yeah.
You were just trying to feel your way through something that you weren't sure about.
Right.
There's a lot of dynamics
Mhm.
in our human family that are like that.
Right.
So I think thank you for being willing to stretch.
Yeah.
And maybe we could all think about where's somewhere that we could stretch into the discomfort of learning about a way of life that we're not sure about and take the risk of messing it up in order to get it right.
Says the therapist.
Well, I mean, we came here to talk about relationships, right? But at the end of the day, if this whole thing were flipped and we were interviewing you all about like racial injustice and socioeconomic issues, and you know what I mean, like there would I think be the same tenderness, you know, the same carefulness of like, oh, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to ask a question that's going to be offensive.
Right.
At the end of the day, it goes in all directions. It's true of all these things. And this is the communication that we're talking about in relationships too, is allow grace for mistakes, allow for the possibility that it's going to be beautiful and we're going to learn something and walk away you know, better than we were before. And not look so hard at getting it wrong in the ways that we get it wrong.
Says the coach.
The willingness to be uncomfortable is the doorway to pretty much everything that we want for ourselves in our world.
Mm-hmm.
The willingness to just experience the discomfort.
Well, one thing I've been practicing in the last, 2026, probably 3 years, is becoming comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because in our uncomfortable places we may be in, there's growth. After the fact, if you're willing to go through it, you gotta know some growth there. Because once you get through it, like I've gotten through this conversation, like, all right, I'm in it now. Now it's like, okay, I feel better and more confident.
I work on that too. And what I really believe is being able to be comfortable with being uncomfortable is the difference between a player and a champion.
I think he just put a seed in your pot. What'd you think?
Oh, that's what I really believe.
Yeah.
Well,
so he already gave you the seed in the good soil. So we have a new segment that we didn't have last. We kind of did it, but we didn't word it like this.
Yeah.
So what we have is we gotta find out a name.
And we do. We gotta.
You might get it right now.
We might. And I'm gonna get one from you too.
Okay.
So now we ask our guests to plant. This is In Good Soil podcast. We ask our guests to plant a seed in good soil. And y'all been planting seeds the whole time. But it's like one last seed to leave.
I love that y'all do that.
So, Mr. Kolrick, please give us your seed.
Oh gosh. The thing that comes to mind is it's connected to what you were talking about with being uncomfortable and how when we stretch into discomfort, we have so many more opportunities to grow. For me, the seed is that there is a huge difference and yet still a fine line between being uncomfortable and being unsafe. And when we're in uncomfortable situations, our ego tells us that we are unsafe because the ego wants status quo. Stay right here where you are. There's no need to go grow over there. We're safe right here. Observe that and then stretch anyway. Because more than likely you're not unsafe. You're just uncomfortable. And there's good that comes out of that.
Well,
here we grow.
Okay. Here we grow. Wow. This has been an amazing conversation. I have totally and truly have enjoyed this conversation.
Same.
Enjoyed
Thank you both.
Thank y'all.
Thank you again. Well, I hope you enjoyed this conversation as well. And we thank you for taking time out to listen and being a part of In Good Soil. I'm your girl, Shay Fowler, the Green Goddess, and this here is my co-host,
Kellen Haynes. And this is the In Good Soil podcast. We thank y'all for watching, tuning in. We hope that you got something from it. There are seeds in the ground now that y'all can, help us water and help us grow this thing.
Yeah.
So if y'all got nothing else, and we got nothing else, I guess we're done. All right.
Until next time.
Until next time. I love y'all. Peace. Push.